what it's really gonna be. Yeah, they call me Turn Up, and I'm really from the streets. But I chose a new life, now I do it for my G. But you better think twice, Johnny Flame, bring the heat. I'ma call up, that's the A front SC. Linked up and be more, but I'm from PG. And we run a couple shows, we was down North Beach. Maranatha, about to blow, Jesus Christ, oh me. That's why I gotta keep praising, cause my God is so amazing. The devil is running and chasing, but we men the God in the making. These dudes are so fake, I can't take it. They hotter than ever, they blazing. I think they've been hanging with Satan, so I'ma keep praising and praying. I'ma keep praising and praying. Time for no games, we not playing. Government killers be saying, all of the demons, you name it. Boy, you so blessed, I'm complaining. Hear these words that I'm conveying. God is so good and they hate it. God is so great, can't explain it.
Wow. They said they're not feeling my style. Talking about Christ, they wanna reply. The number one question is why? Why do you preach? Why you not on? Why are you here? Suppose you are wrong. Johnny, you old, why don't you give up? I think you should, well how about I don't? How about you listen and hear what I said? How about you listen and never forget? Only gonna say this one time, that's a hit. And demons not worthy to be on my head. Nah, first it was let it be light, and then it was let it be man. Then soon came a serpent that tricked it to change all the hearts of the kids of the lamb. Got them thinking they don't need Jesus, long as money stacked up in their hands. First thing they do, they don't know what to do is they running, they serving Satan. Letting Hill's bells ring again. That's why Maranatha's a gang. The devil is taking your soul. He comes in the forms of your bros. The ones that for ground, put the drugs in the dough, and then they don't know you no more. Give it to God, tell them God did it, and watch as they fall to the floor. Let it be known, these are the cowards. The devil's in charge of their soul. Let them keep hating, saying you whack, but you not caught up in their trap, though.
Now who you know plays like this? Who you know play like this? Who you know slay like this? Who you know build like this? Walking on stilts like this. Shut up and live what it do. Let's just keep raining on you. Call up the rest of the crew. Wrestling Johnny Flame too. And we in the booth. And we rep the church of the truth. Now who you know plays like this? Who you know pray like this? Who you know say like this? Who you know build like this? Walking on stilts like this. Turn up and live what it do. Let's just keep raining on you. Call up the rest of the crew. Wrestling Johnny Flame too. And we in the booth. And we rep the church of the truth. Who you know play like this? 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 Who you know?
Good evening, Instagrammers, Facebookers, YouTubers. You're listening to the Intimacy Chronicles. I am your host, Queen Jackie, and to my left,
salutations and greetings. Rick, also known as the Quiet Storm.
So the song that you just heard it's called Turn Up, I'm sorry. And it's by, don't stop. It's by hip hop group Team Maranatha. And they're going to introduce themselves and tell us the motivation behind Turn Up.
How y'all doing? It's Johnny Flames, Team Maranatha.
And actually, my name is Turn Up. The song y'all just heard is called We Going In.
We going in, okay.
We going in. And it's by Turn Up featuring Johnny Flames. I'm sorry.
So the main voice was your voice in that
first
one.
Song was mine. The first verse, everything came in. That was me.
Well, it was hot, man. I definitely heard that Baltimore influence in the beats, and it kept my attention the whole time, man.
Okay.
Good stuff. So is that your first compare that to the rest of the stuff in your catalog? Is that the
You can't really compare it.
Everything's different.
Yeah,
and there's so much of it.
Yeah,
literally so much of it.
Yeah. Some good stuff, man.
And so, why gospel?
Oh, because we both used to rap secular,
Okay.
at different points in our life. God put us together about 7 years ago. God put us together, and we got to talking and stuff. And I had already started. I had got saved while I was incarcerated a few years ago, and then I had took the secular style that I did and just did it. Instead of doing it for the devil, I started doing it for God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when I met Clay, we started talking, and he rapped too. So I gave him a challenge. I was like, let me hear something with no cursing in it. And at first he was like, I ain't never done nothing like that before. And then he did it, and he was like, man, you know what? It was easy. And then we got to talking, and you know, we got to talking about the gospel background and why I do everything gospel. And he turned his life over to Christ and everything, and it's a match made in heaven. With two or more gathered, there, you know, he's in our midst.
Yeah, okay. So who does your music behind? Who does the beats and the producing?
Well, we buy our beats from several different markets.
Okay.
It depends. We'll hear a beat and be like, "Hey, listen to this."
Uh-huh.
You know, and once we agree upon it, yeah, you know, we capture that beat, or we buy beat packages. But all of our production work, literally all of it from day one, has been done by Ogun Gordy
Okay.
at the Architect Studio.
Okay.
Super producer.
Now the interesting thing about that song, you know, it's like when you heard the beat, you know, it was like it wasn't soft. It was like it really hit you. You know what I mean? And then I was listening to the lyrics, and some of the lyrics were tight. It was the style was kind of like an aggressive style, but at the same time, like you said, you're preaching positivity.
No doubt.
It was like one of the lines I heard is which kind of resonated. The devil comes into your soul, comes in the form of your bro.
Huh.
Yeah. Tell me about that. What is that?
I mean, it's just from observation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I said, I was incarcerated, but before I was saved, I was wild. I was running out in the streets, and you know, it's dog eat dog world. You know, you got to feed the wolves. You know, everything. It's on the block. You're taught that anything goes as long as you can afford it. You know,
Right.
and when I say afford it, I don't always mean monetarily.
Right.
You know, as long as you can pay the price, you know, for doing what you do it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the exact opposite of God's word. So, but you're taught that, you're fed that, you know, you live that, you get used to it. It becomes second nature, and actually that becomes the norm for you.
Yeah.
And living a wholesome, you know, good life is actually seem as foreign and strange to you. So, and who's feeding you that knowledge? Who's giving you that? Your bros. Who's accepting that from you when you speak? When you speak it, your bros.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a cycle of evil, you know, and treachery, and it's the devil in the form of your brothers that's doing it.
Man, that's deep. That's heavy, man. Also, what you know, like I said, your style was, you know, always. I got two teenage kids, and I'm like old school rap. I can't really get into the mumble rappers.
Yes.
And I tell you, man, it's like I always show my kids. I was like, listen to this lyric, listen to Rakim, listen to KRS-One, listen to UTFO, right, and listen to what they actually saying. You know, compare them to, you know,
Whoever.
whoever.
Yeah.
Listen to Rakim. And listen to, you know, he doesn't even need a hook, or and it's just substance, you know. And that's what I heard with you guys, man. I heard that, you know. I'm interested to hear some more, but immediately when he came out, it was just lyrics straight on through. So that was I was really impressed with that. So tell me about your name. What does that mean?
Well, Maranatha, it means come Lord Jesus.
Okay. Which language or?
In Greek.
Greek.
And it's
Greek.
the word that the disciples used to use after the crucifixion and the resurrection of Christ. You know, they were wanted. They were public enemy number one.
Right.
So when they used to greet each other on the street, they used to say Maranatha. Because
Wow.
it's sort of, and I compared it all the time to like a gang sign.
It's a gang
sort of.
sign.
Yeah, it's like a gang sign.
Yeah.
But that's what how they greeted each other, Maranatha, because
I never
come
knew
Lord
that.
Jesus. Yeah, and the Bible even tells you that people who don't believe in the Lord can't confess the Lord. You know, so that was one way that they used to distinguish themselves, you know, and introduce themselves to one another. So yeah, and God gave us that word, Maranatha. So now, if you think about it, every time you speak our name, every time you see our name, think our name, hear our name, come Lord Jesus, you know, it's being manifested to you. So it's just the power and just giving Him more glory and all.
Yeah. It's interesting you said that, because if you think about it, back then, when you're talking about the disciples, so they started Christianity in a sense, and they were outcasts. They were rebels. They were true to their convictions, but at the same time, they could be persecuted. So, I think it may be corny for me today, like the original gangsters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they were outside the norm, and it's funny if they greeted themselves that way. That's news to me. I appreciate you guys doing your research and coming up with that clever name.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. In terms of when so many people are, as you say, doing secular music, I applaud you for going against the grain and not doing something not following the lead, doing your own thing and spreading your message of love to show the next generation that you can still be successful by doing your own thing. You don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. Absolutely. So I definitely applaud the two of you for that. And so do you mentor young people in terms of teaching them your style of rap, or?
Well, I'm a mentor, but it's not really like with the music.
Okay.
I got a couple guys in 11th and 12th grade. Mm-hmm. I just literally they call me, they need me, I'm there, helping them fill out college applications,
cool.
Stuff like that. But for the most part, it's just what we do. It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've never been, neither one of us, we've never been followers.
No.
Yeah.
That's not even, and even me being the younger one, and my crowd, my friends, I really don't have to deal with basically the persecution of why you doing this, why you not doing that, what I'm saying? I get a lot of support.
That's cool.
So you actually get respect for taking the path that you take.
Yeah, and just like y'all said, with the music, we do shows in secular clubs where we are the only gospel artists in the club. We don't care. We go anywhere,
Right.
And the funny thing about that is that every one of those shows that we've done, we've rocked the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, literally rocked the crowd, where not only has the crowd shown us love, but the other artists. They've come. We have one show that we did where at the end of our set, some of the artists even jumped up on the stage and was like, wow, And then the last secular show that we did, it was funny. We're in the middle of our performance, and we saw maybe 15, 20 guys walk in, and everybody was up front, nodding their head. Then they started looking once they started listening to the lyrics that we were talking. And then we just saw everybody on their phones. So we were like, okay, what's up with this? We finished doing our set. Mm-hmm. And then we were leaving. After the show was over, we were leaving. And the guys were standing on the front. And the one guy grabbed us and was like, look, man, I'm glad y'all leaving. And we looked at him, he was like, man, yeah, y'all convicted me. I ain't been to church in years, man. I was scared. I wasn't feeling all uncomfortable. But then he told us that all of them came together. Mm-hmm. And I guess he was the headliner for that show. Mm-hmm. But he said that everybody was Googling us, trying to figure out who are these guys and why don't we know these guys, And it's just been it's been pretty positive. I mean, literally everywhere that we go, it's been a positive response.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
A month.
A month ago.
Yeah, a month or so ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Billy Live.
No doubt, Billy Live.
Yeah. So I have some friends in the music industry, and sometimes we have these conversations and about, because I'm on the technical side of music, right?
Understood.
And I love that, and and what fascinates me a lot when I hear beats, when I hear music, I was like, okay, what's your motivation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why that beat with those lyrics,
right?
And vice versa. So do you find with hip hop, okay, you got what draws people's attention first? Is it the beat? Is it the hook or the lyrics?
Without a doubt, it's the beat.
Okay, so it starts with the beat.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Because you can think, say maybe not today, but go back. Think about how many songs that you heard and the beat was jumping and you're dancing and everything. Don't even know what you're saying out your mouth.
That's true. That is
the
so
beat
true.
Just got you going.
Yeah.
Eventually, you learn the words.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, or you'll mumble them. You know the gist of what's going on. Yep. But yeah, it's the beat that grabs it. And then, from my personal experience, it's the hook after that. Because the hook is repetitive. You hear it more than once. So it's the thing that that you're going to hold on to first before the verses. So the beat and then the hook and then the verses.
Okay. So when you compose music or when you put together songs, do you do it in that order or do you do the lyrics first? Or
You wouldn't believe us if we told you.
I know. We've never recorded a song together, ever.
What?
In
We've never
7
written.
years. We've
Never
never
written.
written
Okay.
together. We've
Written.
never written. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
said it wrong. We've never written together. We've never
Okay.
even
Never.
been in the same state or same city writing.
Like,
We'll hear a
never.
beat, send one, we'll send it to the other one, be like, "What's the topic?" Blase, blase, blase. Okay. Couple of days later, a couple of hours. Okay, I got a verse and a hook. Okay, I got 2 verses. Okay, the song done.
And
Song
it's-
done. When we gonna meet up at the studio?
It's always the same.
And that's what you hear because we don't rely on ourselves. to do it.
Okay.
You know, we pray unto the Holy Spirit to give us guidance for that. Because one of the things that we look at as far as is and I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but one of our major motivations is just to open your eyes and look around. I mean, we're being poisoned. We're being force-fed poison, and we're sitting there with our mouths open, gladly, you know, swallowing it down.
Right.
So I mean, if that's the case, you know, every once in a while, let's throw a little bit of medicine up in there, you know, to try to first of all, let's try to calm the symptoms down before we cure it, because we know it's not going to happen overnight. But you know what? There has to be opposition. There's no opposition to the problems that's occurring in our society. And when I say our society, I mean the human society, because it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's not a brown thing. It's a thing, you know, and they're killing everybody with it.
right.
So what we decided to do was, through the grace of God, let's attack this and see what happens. Let's become the Baphomet killers, and you know, through God's ordinance and through God's mercy, you know, let's go out there like some soldiers and go to war against this enemy.
Yeah. So it sounds like y'all got a real natural chemistry between you guys.
Without a doubt, and it shocked us. I don't even really know if it shocked us though, but I don't know.
It has
It's
to.
only- I think it's
At
only-
least
I think
the
it's
first-
only-
at least the first time.
Yeah.
At least the
Nah,
first
like
time.
it's only been it's okay. We've had times, but not like the first time or like, you know what I'm saying. Like it's been times where like he'll go in the studio, he'll come out, and then I'll go and record, and we'd be like, we just said the same thing.
Same-
Like how we do
exactly.
that? Like, you know,
That's amazing.
yeah, like
Yeah.
literally,
But in different interpretations
Exactly.
of the
Yeah.
same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like old and young.
right. You know, that was one of the major challenges.
Shade.
Yeah. I mean, and I can't argue with that. You know, for a guy.
But you make it work.
Yeah, because
Oh,
you gotta
yeah.
think
Oh, yeah.
for a guy as
Definitely.
young
No
as I
question.
am, working with a guy that old,
Yeah.
I mean, that was new to me. You know, that was totally different. You know, not didn't even hang with guys that old. You know, much less work.
Dig it up. I understand. So what are some of the okay, compare secular to keep in mind, I ain't write down any of my questions. I'm just winging it. So
Sure, we talking.
So just bear with me. Compare your secular side to the gospel side. What are some of the universal themes, and then what are some of the contradictions? Or let's start with some of the universal topics that can go on the secular versus secular and Christian.
Cranking beat, catchy hook, fire lyrics, across the board, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Our separation, the only thing that separates us is content.
Okay.
Content.
And how you deliver it. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
not even the
not even how we deliver it. Now we don't do the mumble rap. That's not our style.
Okay.
And for real, I'm not even a fan of it, to be honest with you. But it's sort of like you said, and I meant to comment on this earlier to take you back a little bit when you said that you deal with the old school scope. You like the old school rap and all that. Our last show that we did, the DJ was like, "Oh man, I love when y'all perform." He was like, "Y'all take me back,
90s.
man, to that '90s style." He said, "I can understand what you're saying. It's hot, everything y'all do." He said, "Yeah, I love when y'all perform." So that was funny when you said that because, by no, we didn't do it on purpose, but that's the genre that we represent. You know, is that era that era of hip hop.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Who are some of your influences?
Mine is Turn Up.
Okay.
Like I said, when you got old dudes like that you listen to, you know, that's wisdom.
A lot of
man.
experience
Yeah,
there,
a lot of
yeah.
experience in that body. Man.
I mean, for me, like I said, I still listen to a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time, like right now, listening to like God Over Money, Bizzle,
me
Dayton,
too.
Jared Sanders.
AI.
Yeah, I listen to James Fortune.
Okay.
James Fortune got a song out called "Blessing Me." I can't let it go.
Amen.
I wake up and play it every day.
Wow.
Amen. My influence is old school, just like yours. You know, like Tupac's my favorite. I won't even front. Pop, and then trickle down. It's a few other people I like.
Show your age.
Nah, we gonna let that ride. Leave that right there.
Man, come on, man. I said you.
I know when you said UTFO. I
said
heard you.
UTFO.
I heard you when you said that.
So man,
see, one of us done already dated herself. That's enough for one show.
Boy.
That's enough for one show.
Hey,
Got it.
I put them up against anybody.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. No, but like you said, I listen to a lot of God Over Money as well. To me, they're appealing. They're I guess kindred spirits. To what we do. So yeah. I listen. If I'm not honestly, 99% of what I listen to is Team Maranatha, because we have so much music, and I mean so much music, literally. And we did this not on purpose, but it just played out. We've got tons and tons of material that's just been recorded. We were like like they say, gym rats. We were studio rats for years. That's all we did was sit in the studio and record. And just recently, we've been branching out and doing our thing live. And we never shunned that or never shied away from it. It was just that we were always in the studio doing stuff. And then one show's led to another, which has led to 2 more shows, which has led to 3, which has led to management, which has led to the CD release party. February 8th, you ain't doing nothing else. The Super Bowl is over, all right? We expect to see y'all February 8th again from 5 to 7. That's 5300 York Road.
Okay.
Kingdom Elements. Need to see everybody there. But I mean, it's just led to that. It's just, and we're always ready. We're always prepared.
How far up York Road is 5300? I know.
It's right off of Woodburn.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
It's right next to the AutoZone.
Okay.
Literally. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, how did you meet A. Michelle?
We were supposed to. I won't even say supposed to. We were about to sign with somebody else who knew A. Michelle, and for whatever happened, that fizzled. But in the process of that, we were supposed to be a guest on her show.
Okay.
And it never manifested. And then I looked at my calendar one day and I was like, you know what? We never did this show. So even though that didn't manifest with the other person, I contacted her. And she was like, aren't you guys under such and such? And I'm like, no. And she was like, okay. And then we got to talk, and then it was funny. We did the show just like we're doing right now with you all. We did the show right after the show. It was like, we looked at each other and was like, hey, Michelle, you managing? You looking to manage? She was like, yeah, I got a couple of artists. She was like, I was thinking about a gospel artist. Once she said that, over.
The rest was history.
It's been history. That's the day the magic happened.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. She sent me a free tracks, but I played Turn Up, and my granddaughter, who's 11, was like, oh, yeah, who's that, Grandma? So I said, okay, well, this is the song I'm going to use on the promo. It was amazing because she understood it.
Amen.
Yeah, so I was like, this is it right here.
Amen.
So what's the name of the song that you just played?
We going in.
We going in. Okay. So what's the message behind that? What's the message behind that?
We going in. We at war.
Okay.
We're going in. And like the hook says, now who sound like this? I mean, think about it. Who do you know who spits nothing, like as our motto, always spit is scriptures, as we say, who do you know who does that in this format? And like you said, your 11-year-old granddaughter heard it and grabbed it immediately.
Yeah.
And it's catered. Now, it's not just catered to the youth, because, I mean, our generation is just as bad, and even, I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but we messed up to allow that to happen to the next generation. But I'll leave that alone for right now. But our message is catered for salvation, and it's doctored to everybody who needs it.
Mm-hmm. So having a song of that magnitude, and because it relates to everyone, it's a way of bridging the gap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is what's needed now.
Yeah. Because it's funny. Like I'm an ordained minister, and soon I'll be an ordained pastor. So, but for like 17 years now, I've been teaching different Bible studies and classes and stuff. And one of the major things that I've noticed is like the flock of people leaving the church. And then when I talk to people and when I read stuff about it, it's all the same thing. I can't relate.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't apply to me. You know, I can't get into it. Or so much negative connotations around, you know, with our so-called leaders in that industry, to be callous and to be mocking towards what they do.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of people have left the church because, for one, they don't feel comfortable anymore in church.
Right.
It's so much judgment among people that's supposed to be worshiping together,
Right.
but it's cliquish.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So our thing was, since you won't come to church, the church will come to you.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah.
The block don't have to come to church no more. The church will come to the block.
Mm-hmm.
So
We've been there before.
what do you expect? What do you expect your music? What kind of influence, or what kind of influence you expect your music to have on the casual fan?
I mean, more so just, you know, love. I mean,
Okay.
you know, just bringing back positivity, motivation, peace. You know what I'm saying? Just in, you know, doing it in the same form that they hearing it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I remember, and I was just talking to my Bible study class about this on Monday night. Remember back in the day when you used to hear about a bad apple or a bad seed, you know? So and so is a bad seed. I don't want you around. And do you know that's the norm now?
That's the norm.
It's-
Yes.
We're the ones that stand out now.
Right.
You know, and I'm not saying better or
Right.
good or anything, just different. You know, and it's like when you aren't politically correct, when you don't bow down and cow down and compromise your values and beliefs to just fit in, then you're the one with the problem.
True.
And to me, that's weird.
It's
Yeah.
weird because everybody else is fitting in.
Right.
Yep.
So when you're different, you're deemed sometimes crazy, weird, all of that. You know,
We got
like
a song
I
that
hear
talk-
Got
that
something
a
about that
lot.
too.
We got a song called "Crazy" that talks about that.
It's weird because you're not even encouraged to be an individual nowadays.
True.
Yeah. So to have the two of you here and doing something different and trying to uplift the community
And successful.
and successful, it's
Appreciate it.
so refreshing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, to bring people of all generations together for the purpose of promoting love, that's big.
We hope so.
Yeah, that's big.
So how hard was it when you first came up with it, when you guys first kind of got together and came up with this concept where you're going to go in this direction, where you don't see a lot of people doing the same thing you're doing, you don't have a lot of people where you could relate to that. How hard was it for you to? And I know you have strong convictions, so you follow convictions. But how hard was it for you to go pave your own path like that?
I mean, honestly, we had a long conversation at the very
Smiling.
beginning. You know, we had a long conversation and we told each other, like you said, like we the only people going in this direction.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there is no path.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's a few, but you know, they already on TV or they already, you know, they made it.
Right.
Coming out of this area, you know, at the time where, you know, the riots was going on and all that other stuff, like literally he said to me, like, it's gonna take longer than, you know, the normal,
It's true.
you know, route would be. It's gonna take longer.
Right. And we've had offers, like a couple of different people
Yeah.
are like, man, I could really, man, if y'all would just switch from Christian and just do, what do you call it? Like the backpack, what they call it?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
What do you say? I forgot, like, but
It was an insult. is what
yeah,
It was.
but
Backpack? Duffel
yeah, I
bag,
forgot
or-
what they call it. Sort of the music like Common and them do. Conscious, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said if y'all would just switch over and do conscious music and maybe mention like Jesus on one song, hey man, I can get y'all signed, I can get y'all this or that.
Wow.
And
Why
we
would
were
that
like,
make a difference if it's the same
that's the
message and
point.
same
right?
content?
Yeah.
Exactly. So we were like, no, thank you. We appreciated the offer though.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as it being difficult, we knew it was going to be difficult
yeah.
because we're different. You know, we wouldn't compromise. You know,
Right.
so sort of that instance. And several occasions we had look, just take Jesus out of this part and say something else. You know, we could get y'all say Jesus too much in your music and stuff like that. But then, the funny part is that we found it. I mean, really to be the opposite. Because like I said, we performed our first show we ever did was at a secular event in DC. We go on like 1:30 in the morning. Everybody, it's a competition, 40-some acts. Everybody drunk, stumbling around and everything. You know, it's a party or whatever at the club. We go on. I mean, literally, the whole club stops, turns around, and walks to the front of the stage. Everybody jamming, you know, in the middle of us. And we ended up, out of 40-some acts, we came in third place. You know, and we had technical difficulties and some other things going on that I've spoken about before. But none of that's important. The important thing is that why do you have to switch your style, switch your content, switch anything if your product is good?
Yeah.
I'm saying if you popping, you popping.
And not alone. Look at the advantage. You stand out. Nobody's doing this for you but you. That's the thing that's weird to us. Why aren't people jumping on this originality? Why aren't people like pressed to be part of this? Well, you don't sound like everybody else. Okay, that's cool.
But
you know?
because they're looking at it from the marketing standpoint,
Right.
they don't know how to market you.
Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
they want you to fit in with what they're used to marketing.
Right.
So I feel like why should you compromise when you're so passionate about what you do?
Right.
And the road may take you longer, but that's okay because you're doing what you love and
Yeah.
you're ministering to people.
Right. No
Yeah.
doubt.
So
So
you
that's-
shouldn't compromise.
So that sounds like a great. That's a great story. Let me ask you this. So take yourself back to that situation where 1:30 in the morning, you know, people drunk, all this stuff, and y'all start cracking, and then everybody comes to the front of the. How did that make y'all feel? What was your feeling when you saw that?
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, honestly,
Nah,
we
like
You knew it was going to happen, or you knew that you.
knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We knew it was
Feel
gonna-
like the
Yeah.
energy of
Yeah, and not only that, we're not arrogant and we're cocky, but we're good.
Okay.
We're good, and we're not new at this. We've done this for a while, and we take just as much effort, energy, and everything. I mean, it takes us forever to select a beat. It takes us forever, you know, to master our lyrics sometime and to get them. And I don't mean like in the studio, but I mean before we get to the studio, you know, to master things so that it's said the way that we meant to say it. And it comes out because, you know, some things that have catechisms or whatever involved in it. We want these things to reflect positively on our message and not negatively. So yeah, we care less, you know, who you are and what you do. When it's our turn, it's our turn.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. So, are you all gonna freestyle for us tonight?
Oh my goodness, I don't freestyle. I don't freestyle. I mean, we could spit something. I'll give you
Okay.
something written that we've recorded before.
Okay.
I'll definitely give you that. But I'm sorry, I can't freestyle. But you know why? Because when I did freestyle, I literally said the first thing that came to mind.
Okay.
And since my
That's-
mind
that's
has
my
been
problem with freestyle.
renewed and cultured,
You're refined.
I'm
now.
refined now.
Okay. So you still got that filter.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Without it, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Without it, I'm lost.
Okay.
All right.
So when are you all on tour now, or
No.
Okay.
No. We did probably about between 10 and 15 shows, I guess, last year. We're all our focus right now is getting the CD dropped. We've got our fashion line that's coming out, Team Maranatha Clothing, and we're right now looking to get sponsors to shoot our second video for the CD. It's called The Baphomet Killer. We're looking for sponsors to help us, you know, get that kicked off. So that's where our energy is being deposited right now.
okay? And so,
Quick question. Knowing that y'all gospel artists, which world accepts you more, the secular or the gospel world?
That's like dead down the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Like I mean, honestly, from our shows, like if we go by just our shows, we probably gotten more love from the secular crowd.
Yeah.
wow.
Like we go by our shows, like we're way. I guess you can say accepted.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like once we get up there and we start rapping, like you said, like in the beginning, people don't even know what they listening to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like people just hear the beats, and you know they just bobbing their head until they, like you said, they hear that Jesus a couple times. They like, wait a minute, hold up.
Right.
Like,
And you'll always notice when they start paying
yeah,
attention
once
to
they
it.
once they
Yeah.
realize it, you can always tell.
Yeah.
And like it don't really change anything.
Do you have to be a Christian to appreciate your music?
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No, and that's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of it.
Do you find?
It's almost like and please forgive me with my stories, man, but I have a friend who owns a vegan restaurant, you know, and they serve like real good food, like vegan soul food, and it's like when I eat there, I'm not vegan. I just like good food.
Understood.
You know, and it kind of reminds me, like, do you see the same similarities in your music?
Yeah.
It's like whether you this or that, it's just good music, and you could appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, because literally every single performance, we've always gotten compliments on our production work. I mean, everything. Everybody talking about the clarity of it. You know, how the highs are high and the lows are low. You know, how clear the voice is. And like I said, since we don't do the mumble rap and everybody can actually understand what we're saying and stuff, it's like, it's awesome. It's amazing.
I mean, y'all, it ain't mumble rap, but it ain't slow. That track wasn't slow paced. I mean, y'all had more words than a Rosetta Stone up in there.
No, we got some for everybody. We got some slower tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some fast party type tracks. We got tracks to bring you up out of your depression. We got you tracks that make you think twice about the life and the way you're living. We got tracks, like we said, about being looked at as crazy.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. So we try to cover the entire gambit of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Do you find that you get resistance from the gospel community?
Sometimes, but then we look at it as fun. Like, I looked at it like, I remember years, and again, I go dating myself. I remember when the Winans first came
away
out,
from it.
you know, and the Winans were too secular for the gospel world.
Right.
And then I remember when Kirk Franklin dropped after that. Oh my goodness, what is he doing? That's not church. That's not gospel music. So we have examples, you know, of people who've already had to break through and endure this.
Right.
So it's sort of like a path was paved for us to, you know, look at it and understand, you know, what's going on. Okay. So yeah, we look forward to the challenge, both from the church and the world. Let's go.
Right.
What are some of the challenges from the church?
Like we said, just acceptance, just a change, you know. And one of the things, like I told you, I don't just rap, I preach.
Yeah.
So one of the major things is if your kids, not you, if your kids and your grandkids and them, your nieces and nephews aren't going to church, right? You want them in church, okay? Then do what it takes to get them in church.
Right.
Yeah. They're listening to music. Let them listen to church music, you know, just done in their format. The same opportunity that you were afforded.
Right.
You know?
And if I offend anybody, please forgive me. But just
bro.
imagine, you know, your choir doing one of y'all.
Amen. Let's go.
Right. And then after that, it was like, okay, let's turn to Rock of Ages.
That's good.
Turn to Six Road in your hymnal. You'd be like, man.
When you're in church, for me, the songs that move me as a teenager were the ones I could rock to.
Right.
Like, I love Pass Me Not, and I couldn't wait to get up there with the tambourine and be, you know, just being in the music and loving the energy of it, because sometimes the old school hymnals, I be sitting in my pew about to go to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, so you got to do something to get everyone's attention, and I think that's what you guys bring to the table.
On with Christian soldiers. Don't sleep on that, girl.
Let me just say, I like that, but I would like to hear something on the line of Pass Me Not. You know,
Amen.
I want to rock. I want to. A lot of times you're in church and it's so boring because you let the senior choir get up there and sing, and a lot of us younger ones at the time would be like trying to stop yourself from yawning and going to sleep.
Right.
In the pew like this.
But I like y'all approach where you got the beat, you got the hook, and then after you sit, you're just like, wow, there's a message behind this.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And,
Without a doubt.
you know, so that's a really good formula. That's
Amen.
a really good formula.
Appreciate it.
So Nick is gonna play another tune.
Yeah, so we're going to get to this joint called Push. Is that the name of it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my man's.
Okay, all
That's
right.
my
first
his
single.
first solo single.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we about to get to Push. And
we ain't talking about Jesse Jackson operation.
Now we talking about praying till something happens.
Okay.
Push.
and if you're listening out there on Facebook Live or anywhere, and you like what you hear, call up the studio. The number's right there on the screen, y'all. Call the studio
1-855-493-6499
and let us know how you think about this music.
Just keep on pushing, we gon' make it through. And keep your faith, that's all that we can do. Cause when my Jesus call, you know I always pick up. Ain't got no time to hesitate, no time for slip-ups. That prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work. See, I'ma keep praising and praying, cause that prayer work. No time for no games when I'm playing, cause that prayer work, that prayer work. I pray every day. Yes. I pray before I sleep. I pray when I wake. And I always got faith. Yes. Cause I know He is real. Hey, that prayer work. Yeah, they know the deal. That prayer work. But I still go hard. Steph Curry with the 3. Now I'm shooting with the stars. Now tell me what's the odds that a guy like me chose God. FMA killers on God. Ask who I do it, yeah, I do it for the squad. These haters gon' hate, just stay up my face. I follow His word, He showed me His grace. I'm living my life, this isn't a race. You play with my fam, I'm making the case. Always 100, can't deal with the fake. Keep my grass color, can't deal with no snakes. Rockin' with Jesus like an earthquake. He coming back from my soul, He can take. Just keep on pushing, we gon' make it through. Hey, keep your faith, that's all that we can do. Cause when my Jesus call, you know I always pick up. Ain't got no time to hesitate, no time for slip-ups. That prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work. See, I'ma keep praising and praying, cause that prayer work. No time for no games when I'm playing, cause that prayer work. Cool as a fan, but I never compromise. Turn up trying to save you from your own demise. I don't know if y'all been listening, I said a couple times. Maranatha taking over, man, it's just a gospel grind. Grinding, but I ain't got no clips. I took the cross around my neck, I got the good book on my hip. Going off in the wrong direction, I done made a couple flips. And I'm talking about my life, but man, they sway, I'm talking bricks. Man, y'all need to get a grip. Man, y'all really make me sick. Y'all keep falling for these stupid games, the devil playing tricks. Man, y'all need to take y'all pick. Is it God or 666? So dynamite, I ain't got no sticks, but I'm a bomb and I go tick, tick, boom. Just keep on pushing, we gon' make it through. Hey, keep your faith, that's all that we can do. Cause when my Jesus call, you know I always pick up. Ain't got no time to hesitate, no time for slip-ups. That prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work, that prayer work. See, I'ma keep praising and praying, cause that prayer work. No time for no games when I'm playing, cause that prayer work.
Wow.
Watched you while that song was playing.
That's my partner.
Yeah,
that's my partner in crime.
That was
I
fire,
love
man.
that.
That was a lot of substance in there.
Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Wow.
It left you speechless.
No, I ain't speechless.
That was the right thing. That's rare.
No, let me tell you something. All right, I'm 49 years old. Okay. I'm 49, right?
Oh, hell.
So, one thing about my... I'm going to tell you something.
Now you about to get all philosophical.
Oh, no. My generation was the first generations of professionals out there in the work world that was raised on hip-hop.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So, it's been times where I'm going in, I'm about to do a training or I'm about to do a presentation, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, here's a funky introduction of how nice I am. You know what I'm saying? There are surgeons out there doing surgery.
No doubt.
With, I came in the door. I said it before. You know, just mumbling in my, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, yo, this is like my morning commute song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like looking at this. I'm like, I'm driving, going through traffic. You know, and it's like, and when you start your day with something like that, that's like, you know, you walk into the corporate office and you got that in your mind, man. You feel like you could do anything.
Amen.
Amen.
You know, so that's what I heard when I did. I was like, oh, that's my morning drive list right there. That's on my morning
appreciate
drive
that.
list. Yeah. You know, because it's first of all, the beat was heavy, but at the same time, the music, the lyrics on top of the beat, it's like the beat was down here, but the music was like floating. The lyrics were like kind of floating.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with that. It's like I heard all this down here, and then I'm hearing this up here.
Yeah.
You know, and it, like I said, it was tangible. I don't know. I sound like a music critic, man, but it was tangible.
Really
Look,
and
I'm loving it.
and it was coherent. Yeah. It wasn't. You know, I didn't get tired. I didn't get bored. I listened to it, and it kept my attention. You know, because sometimes it's like when you write music, you know, you have to do it almost like it has to be a certain length. You got to bring in hooks. You got to bring in things at the same time to keep people rolling.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that was my assessment of that. That was some good stuff,
Appreciate
man.
that.
And I like
Appreciate
your
that.
tone of your voice too. Your voice kind of work with that heavy beat.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's not even the mixed down copy.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm not even gonna
I
lie.
was gonna say the same thing.
They sent y'all the wrong song, Angela.
That's the wrong version. That has been mixed and it's mixed and mastered.
Now,
that just wasn't that
that's
version.
not the
of it.
version. Yeah.
That was just recording it.
So
yeah.
so
Like
what
that's first go through like
Yeah.
one track, like
okay.
Okay.
not edited, no nothing. Like that's raw.
So the lyrics are different or the beat?
No,
Nothing.
nothing's different. But yeah, it's not mixed.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like that's raw. Like going to studio,
Yeah.
like put it
Yeah,
down.
I know, because
and
I
walk
was
out.
over here changing
Look,
certain things to make it sound right.
Yeah,
I
that-
didn't want to put it out there.
yeah,
but
look,
yeah.
yeah.
we real with ours. Yeah.
Yeah.
The song cranked, but that just wasn't the right version.
That wasn't okay.
Like when you get the CD, trust me, you'll hear
Yeah.
the real version. Yeah.
So, all y'all recording is done at Architects?
Yes, sir.
All of it.
Everything.
That's
Everything.
smart. That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do good business.
I can't get around to nobody
We're
else.
gonna give a plug to Architects.
Yeah, they my peoples.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to record live bands for them up here.
Okay.
And send Mike the files.
Heard.
Long time ago.
Shout out to Ogun Gordy, holding it down. Ceasefire.
Keep on pushing.
I'm like, it doesn't matter what you're going through in the moment, but you hear that song and it's like it brings you
Yeah,
out.
motivation.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
So that was an assessment from my generation.
I keep on pushing. I'll keep on pushing.
Yeah, it's like on the way home, you know that it's gonna play in your mind, you know. So I like that.
Yeah, you wake up with that, man. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all talk, but
No, you be in good hands with Turnout. That's what he do.
Yeah.
That's what he do.
So tell me about the name, man. Turn Up.
I mean, if you hear a lot of the songs, you'll see why.
You're turned
okay.
up.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, honestly, like it's just like an alter ego. So like, I mean, when I was rapping secular, a lot of my motivation was like Meek Mill. So like, I watched Meek Mill literally, you know, from YouTube days, like when he literally had nothing.
Pre-Nicki or post-Nicki?
Wait, pre-Nicki. Pre-Nicki. Meek with cornrows. The dirty cornrows, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But his tenacity, like, you know, his consistency, like, you know, everything was, you know, his A game every time he was in front of the camera. And, you know, that was just, he was one of my motivators. And I mean, his style, you know, everybody say all he do is yell. Well, all I'm going to do is yell.
Right.
You know? And it's, I mean, like I said, it's more so just like an alter ego. When the mic is in my hand, like I just feel like a different person.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just a lot of energy. A lot of
And
energy.
you know what? It's like y'all. You talking about yelling? Y'all not yelling. Y'all not. Y'all coherent, and it's but the music is moving forward. Both of these tracks, it was like it was moving. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't. Y'all wasn't playing. You attacked it.
Mm-hmm.
You attacked that music, and it was just moving, constantly moving forward.
Yeah.
In this direction. And a lot of times when people compose music or people arrange music, they make that mistake where they don't push the music forward.
True.
You know, and that's just from my assessment of hearing. Sometimes you might hear a track and you're like, man, it's missing something. And a lot of times it's missing that.
The drive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what, and you guys captured that on both of them, both of those tracks. So applaud you for that.
A lot of our songs, like when y'all hear a lot of our content, a lot of our songs are like, it's basically up down, but it's in like a rhythm,
Right.
you know. And like we said, like we don't write together, like ever, like nothing. Any song that you hear put out as of 2020. What's today?
I think
January
that is so
29th.
amazing.
Like we've never
really.
sat in a room and wrote a song together ever.
Nope.
Ever.
All we did was, like I said, contact one another. This the topic. This the beat. Call me when you're ready.
Jesus, take the mic.
No doubt.
Literally. Like literally.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. We rely on that.
Now, if he sounds like a critic, so he has a band called Tropical Soul, and then he's part of a big orchestra, Trinidad, Tobago.
Steel, yeah, my thing is Caribbean steel drums and stuff like that. So if you ever need a sample,
I was going to say, let's do some collabos. Let's put some work in.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll be glad to collaborate. But one of the things about my jazz band is that I see the similarity. We got chemistry because,
Right.
you know, I play steel drums, and the guy that my keyboardist is a gospel guy, and then my drummer is a reggae drummer. So you got three disciplines, three genres that have no business being together, and we don't practice. We just get together and and it's the chemistry. And when you say, you do something, then y'all get together. That's the same thing we do. I'll do my part, I do his, he'll do his part, and then we get together, and it's like, sometimes I tell my boy, well, he had about 6 years ago, he had a left side stroke. So the reason we started getting together was a promise. So I said, hey, when you get better, we're gonna jam together. So that's what we doing is manifesting of that promise. So sometimes I just tell him, I say, yo, just go to church. And don't think about what you're playing. You know, just go ahead. No restriction. And he'll just go off. And that's when the music is at its best. When you sound good.
No doubt.
That's when we sound our best. So I hear a lot of that with y'all too. I mean, how much of that where you just kind of just say, I just want to go with my feeling, and let's just lay it down, and whatever we get. Yeah,
That's
a lot of that.
Period.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we do.
Literally.
That's what we've always done from day one.
Literally.
From day one. That's
Y'all don't know that is really special, man. I mean, because especially when you actually see the output, you'll be so surprised, because sometimes you go into a project and you're like, I don't know what direction I'm going to go, and then you finish and you're like, wow, look what we have accomplished.
Right. Like we said, we've been shocked on a couple of our songs. Like I said, we never meet up, we never discuss anything, and then we get in the studio. And say if he goes in first, I'll look at him funny when he comes out the booth, because I'm like getting ready going in there and say the same exact thing that he said, just in a different manner, and vice versa. And then we look at each other and smile, and we always be at the glass pointing at each other all crazy. But I mean, it's crazy. It's been like that.
Like
it's
he'll spit something, you come back and just to piggyback,
right,
track.
Right, exactly.
And like our engineer Ogun, like he don't let us like slack.
Yeah, no slack.
Like we'll record, and like he'll be like, "Nah, man, like do it again."
I think you can do it better.
Yeah, I think you can do it better.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the critical piece. What is it about that track? Like, then, and when you take that situation where, think about a situation where y'all say, "Yeah, I need to do it better." What was missing?
Sometimes it's like me. Like for me, most of the time he'll tell me like, "That's not turn up. Like your energy not there."
Right.
Like, you know, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be the same once he do his thing to it, you know. So like
and vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. Like I mean, it's been times where like I'm in there and I think I'm doing good. Do it again.
Right.
So he do the Dr. Dre on.
Do it again.
Exactly.
Do it again. Like you know.
Yeah.
Like,
And you trust that judgment.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you
that's
got
what
to
I'm saying.
trust
I
your
can't-
engineer. Yeah.
And that's like he's not one of them engineers who let you come in and just
doing it for the money.
you know, just
Right.
record, like, you know what I'm saying? He gonna let you do you. Once
Yeah.
you done, you say you done, like that's it. Like, nah, he literally like he stops us in between, like he be like, look, you need to go higher here, or like
Right.
you need to go lower here, like
Yeah, me and him used to have battles up here.
Yeah,
that's
And
real.
he used to come here to record back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to get on him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I heard he was a whack artist at one time.
Nah, he
Oh, boom.
yeah,
Whack.
He watching.
You do a lot of punching. But
Ogun did a lot of punching, huh?
yeah,
No,
he
that's
used
not
to-
gonna be
he
on
used to
there.
a
We're
lot
not
of
gonna put this live on our
punch
page.
in.
my
Yeah,
God.
that's my man. Everybody
No,
knows.
I know, I'm messing
But
with it.
I mean, that's his style though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he perfected it.
No
you know
doubt.
what I'm saying? Whereas though, once he got it perfected, it wasn't no problem. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. You just go there with him. You know what I mean? And he really got nice with it. That's why he know how to engineer, because he had to deal with a lot of different engineers
Right.
when he was coming up. So
That's
you know,
real. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, we've gone to a couple of different engineers. Just because, like, say, another artist might have invited us in the studio to record with them or whatever,
Right.
and we listen to the you know, the
You
work.
know the difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
It's a huge difference.
Huge difference. And I'll let Ogun tell the world, you know, that how we met. You know, he threatened me when it was gonna beat me up when we first met, and then we ended
He
up
gonna have a
being-
different story, y'all. I'm just saying.
and then we ended up being, you know, real good friends after 7 years. But yeah, he was a bully when I first met him. You know?
I'm not gonna let you do this while you're not here.
See?
Oh, good. I will not let him do this while you're not here.
There's two sides to every story. Three sides to every story. There's three sides.
My side, his side,
And the
And the
truth.
truth.
No doubt, no doubt.
So, any other collabs as far as Baltimore artists or other Christian rappers that you guys are working on or doing?
No,
right
not
now?
not yet. We have available projects coming up, but
Right.
like the crazy thing, one we're not from Baltimore.
Oh,
we're,
okay.
We're from DC.
Okay.
And it's-
I mean,
You said that
DMV
in the song.
artists
But
in general.
But no, but I'm saying it's
Yeah.
crazy that both of us are from DC. Yeah, we met in
We
Baltimore.
met in Baltimore.
That
Oh,
is
wow,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was incarcerated and had just got released and sent home, and he was at Morgan at the time, and we ended up working at the same job, meeting up,
Right, right.
and it just went from there.
Yeah.
So y'all was over here stealing money.
Yes, to the best of our ability. And we want to thank Baltimore for allowing us to steal money. Nah, but thank you, Baltimore. Y'all done held us down from day one. Team Maranatha was fashioned in your city, in our city. Thank you.
And a lot more to come too.
Oh yeah, we just starting.
Man, yeah.
We just starting.
This stuff is.
So
this-
Jack, you don't mind we going to another song?
Yeah,
you
but
know?
I just gotta clarify
go ahead.
something because I called the song "Turn Up" because that's how the email came.
Yeah,
to
and that's
me.
how I caught it.
Right.
So I
yeah,
was like,
so-
I'm turn up. I'm gonna play that.
Right. Yeah.
Now it should say "Turn Up" featuring Johnny Flames.
Yeah,
we
but
going
then
in.
that's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
what it
said.
should.
But you know,
Yeah, I know.
Baltimore
Yeah,
City public
exactly.
schools. You
Yeah, I know.
know,
Lad.
See, that's
First
what
thing
I'm
you
saying.
see.
We just saw "Turn Up," and I'm like, oh
No,
yeah, I
see,
like
that's-
that. You know.
see what had happened was
See that he went to school back in the '90s. No Child Left Behind.
Oh, understood.
so the first thing we see is turn up. We
Turn
like,
Up,
oh,
and
that's the name
all
of the
it.
song.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
When
all
it-
of
when
it.
it-
We didn't
Y'all
even
gonna-
read the rest.
Y'all gonna play everything then, cause Turn Up on everything.
Nah, actually, it's not. It's just on that one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we got next?
Let's go with what y'all want to play, Bulletproof or what's this other one, Bomb Punk Killer? I can't say that.
Oh, Baphomet Killer.
Baphomet Killer.
Baphomet Killer. That's the theme song of
That's
the CD.
That's the intro.
That's the intro. So and Bulletproof. Oh no, pick one. They both great.
Let's sound like let's do Bulletproof.
Yeah, we can play back to back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna mix them, y'all. So
And Bulletproof is my ode to Jay-Z.
okay, so we gonna go second with Bulletproof then. All right, let's go with Baphomet. Am I
Here we
saying
go
it
with
right?
this again.
Baphomet Killers.
Baphomet
We keep
Killer.
saying
Let's
this
go.
live
Then we
on
gonna
the
play
air.
Bulletproof. Let's get it.
Rock Nation gonna have us soon.
They don't listen to the flow, they don't hear your man. Everything that they know in lies of Satan. Games being played with their lives to bring doom. Disasters approaching, he's coming soon. Flame gave you the forecast, so you are prepared for the wrath of the prince of the powers of the air. Yeah, beware him, his time is short. His term is deadly, his furious high court. Supreme councils, all seeing eye in God. I trust, but no God am I, I'm just flame. A servant of the Messiah, y'all natives.
similar to the Mayans dead. We are prophets, all we know is death. We the Baphomet killers, putting demons to rest. Big Coast, Keisha, and no goons here. Scatter in the dark as the light draws near. To live is Christ, to die is gain. You did it for the money, you allowed it for fame. But in the end, what did you gain? A little bit of nothing for a whole lot of shame.
This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet. This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet
Through
killer.
your scandalous means and illegal goods, soil and green and Planned Parenthoods, rainbow agendas and chemical changes. One world hidden in United Nations. ISIS armies, the Pope in Islam. No crusades cause of evil jihad. CERN's God particle research in full bloom. Abyss soon doping, massive kaboom. Chemtrails to promote aggression. Chips in your bodies and planted weapons. Genocide induced with no discretion. Lies hiding truths in their confessions. Woo! I am flaming in case you forgot. I am the Baphomet killer. So who do you got? Jesus, don't be mad that I killed this man, because he stood in my way with your sword in my hand.
This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet. This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet.
This is his final warning, his final calling. Beginning of the sorrows, now it's starting. Beast of Daniel, the feed of mixture. Last day sign, mix up the genders. No man able to buy or sell things. Less beast tattoo, number or name. Broken mirrors highlight my life. Flame honestly trying to be like Christ. A double-edged weapon, bone from the marrow. Crooked to the straight and narrow. Soul from the spirit, he taught me to wield it. Lines not blurred, just planes been shifted. Curtains drawn back, veils been lifted. Warning you like no other arcs depicted. Again, no, y'all rather have Barabbas. Choice has been made, so let's get at this.
This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet. This is a message to God, soldiers, you ready to ride? Then come on, the devil tried to defeat us. Tell the demons, let's go. The Lord is my protection, I'm protected by the realest. Warrior for Christ, Baphomet killer.
Yo, Team Maranatha. Turn up, J Flames. Yo, Team Maranatha. Turn up, J Flames. We so bulletproof, man. Yeah.
I'm cut from the shroud of Turin. Listen up and get caught up in this warning. Yeah, I know my message sounds foreign, so Google what you don't understand. It's that important. So what if you could flip a couple words or flip a couple birds, or the king of the nerds? Nerds, they create electronics. Nerds introduce hydroponics. Architects of the use of ebonics. Since 1992 got you hooked on the chronic. Pour a little shade and it's done so flawless. Yeah, your boy's a wealth of knowledge. So stop listening to the hypocrites and start getting this, yeah, start getting this. Chop it up with your boy for a second. Chop it up, then receive God's blessings.
The time is now, the time is near. So is you ready for war? It's time to put on your gear. Cause we are strong as one, and yes, they know it's the truth. They know it's us at Maranatha, man, we so bulletproof. The time is now, the time is near. So is you ready for war? It's time to put on your gear. Cause we are strong as one, and yes, they know it's the truth. They know it's us at Maranatha, man, we so bulletproof.
Fast forward, freeze frame on the savior. Look, your mind stays bad behavior. Everything now, nothing later. Your mind stays bad behavior. Hey, young world, wanna hear a story? Then start listening to Shorty. I'm the genesis of a nemesis, bringing you the Lord that got you worried about prejudice. and drawing pictures of Pegasus, writing over your president. I told you that this was a warning, so close your eyes, pretend that you're me. So in the midst of heavy breathing, I see flocks of demons. It's Satan seeming. It's their season. It's utter madness, wrath of the legion.
The time is now, the time is near. So is you ready for war? It's time to put on your gear. Cause we are strong as one, and yes, they know it's the truth. They throwing shots at Maranatha, man, we so bulletproof. The time is now, the time is near. So is you ready for war? It's time to put on your gear. Cause we are strong as one, and yes, they know it's the truth. They throwing shots at Maranatha, man, we so bulletproof.
That's like all I can say. And it does remind me of, it has the old school flavor.
Right.
Yeah, so I love that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm looking at Richard's face, and it's not often that he's speechless. So
I mean, it was hot. I mean, the
yeah.
symbolism, you know, the references. I was digging that.
Thank you.
What is all we know is Seth, and then you said something after that on the first one. SETH Seth. Yeah, I was.
You probably heard me wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think on Baphomet Killers.
Yeah.
No, would you play first? Baphomet Killers.
Baphomet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't even.
Because but I'm just saying that was the first symbolism that you guys use. Because I'm hearing like Pegasus, I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
You know, so like how much Bible study or
college.
goes into
Bible college.
Okay.
That's what he teaches.
Because y'all bringing stuff in here that. You know that you end up Googling and be like, dang, that's what that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It ain't just basic stuff y'all bringing. Y'all bringing some stuff that's kind of deep that make me want to go back and say, what does that mean? What is that?
Purpose of it. That's the purpose.
Yeah.
Of it. To get people to reopen their Bibles and start looking up stuff.
Right.
You know, or Google it because it's going to lead you to where the scripture is in the Bible, which prayerfully leads you to want to read something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Like again, I told you earlier, I've been doing this for 17 years. I've studied under some masters when it comes to the word, and the most important thing that they taught me to do was how to study the word. You know, a lot of people sit there and you're in there like this, you're hollering and you're sweating in church and you're crying and jumping up and down and going crazy. Then you leave out, somebody be like, "Whew, what you learn in church today?" They
can't tell you.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm out of breath. You know, you don't even remember what the message was.
Yeah.
You know, because it's. I mean, I'm not everybody, but a lot of it's rhetoric.
Yeah.
And it's catchy and it sound good and it make you smile and feel good, but it has no substance to it. We're substance.
Yeah. You can definitely see that. It's you could, like I said, you're hearing it and it makes you think and it's thought provoking. And like I said, it's like I'm hearing lines and I'm like, all right, let me Google this and what does this mean? What are you trying to say? Because I like the transition or the versatility of you guys because what you're seeing, it ain't just about daisies.
Nah.
It's about that was some real heavy stuff. I mean, talking about I don't know if you went to the Book of Revelation, about the final battle, because that's what I felt.
Actually, Baphomet Killers stems from 3 books. It stems from the Book of Daniel because that's about the
Revelation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then it stems from Matthew 24, which is Jesus' version of Revelation. The disciples ask him personally, "What's it going to be like when you return?" He breaks it down and tells them word for word, this is what it's going to be like before I can return.
Yes.
And then I went to Revelation, which is John's version of when he was actually the only one of the disciples that lived to be an old man. The rest of them were all murdered. Yeah, he lived to be an old man, but he was locked up on the island of Patmos, and he received the Revelation, the Book of Revelation. He received that and wrote that down. So I took all 3 versions because say we all know the same story, but then it's your version, and my version. True. All of us see the same pictures. All of us had the same thing, but it's just little nuances that made it a little more important or a little different to you than it is to me. And if I felt as though if we combined all 3 of those references, then that should be able to touch everybody somewhere. You
Okay.
know?
Right.
Something ought to grab you somewhere.
Yeah, so I felt a little bit of that fire and brimstone, man. But again, it wasn't like a turn, like, because sometimes, I mean, that's not an easy subject to talk about.
Nah.
And usually when people go there, they kind of like, man, I don't want to hear that. But it's like, nah, let me hear this. Let me hear what you're talking about. And it's not just about the end of days. You're talking about, it could be a battle or of an antagonist that you have to go up against, and you could kind of draw from this for your power as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I even referenced, like you said, drawing pictures of Pegasus, riding over your president. You know, yeah, we deal with common events. You know, stuff that's going on right now as far as the social world. But our focus isn't on the political or the social world. Our focus is on the kingdom to come. But part of that focus is making you aware of the challenges to get there. Yeah. And those are some of the challenges that you're going to face on your journey to get there.
Something else that y'all cleverly are doing is you giving us a lot of information and a lot of content, serious content. But when you listen to it, it don't seem overwhelming. You know, that's and I kind of picked up on that. That's a really clever way of delivering the message.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's because I'm telling you, I mean, growing up in the church, it's like Revelations used to scare me.
I didn't grow up in the church and Revelation scared me. I'm new. Like I said, I mean, I guess maybe 20 years in. But I'm still new to this. I'm still a babe at this, so I understand exactly, you know, where you're coming from. And I remember at first I used to be like, man, I wish I was, you know, had grown up in the church and had this from the beginning. Do you know how much further along I could be? But that wasn't meant for me.
Yeah,
that wasn't your path.
That's true. Yeah.
So, and who knows if I would have gone further than where I'm at now.
Right.
You know, I could have gave up on it and gotten tired of hearing it. Or whatever. You know, in God's time, it was perfect. In His wisdom, you know, He brought me in when He needed to bring me in. And look how long it's kept me, and look how much He's given me, you know, along that journey to give away. I also feel as though selfishly, everybody should get the word. Unselfishly, you should give it away. You know, you don't want to have just good things for you. You should want good things for everybody to have.
Absolutely. But before we run out of time, can we talk about y'all got some y'all sporting some artwork on y'all t-shirts? Can we talk about what's going on?
This is actually our logo.
Okay, so there are two hands that look like
Holding the mic, can you see?
Okay.
Holding the mic with the cross in the middle.
And kind of angel wings things going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one that I have on, this is the Baphomet Killers. Okay. This is the original CD cover. We have a new CD cover, by the way, but it doesn't matter. We'll have both items for sale, new or old, and they both represent the upcoming CD release, the Baphomet Killers CD.
And for those who can't see, it looks like it's a fight against the devil.
Perfect. It's the modern rendition of the devil. They call him the Baphomet. It stems from that. You know, I do a lot of study and teaching on the Illuminati and stuff like that, because a lot of stuff that people will reference, they don't even realize it's literally right in the Bible. And the Bible even talks about the Illuminati. So through teaching on that stuff, I came across the Baphomet and all that. And you got to look around in this world. There's a great big devil. I mean, turn on the news. Open your front door and look outside. You know, turn the radio on, put a movie on, and then it's little itty bitty you, you know, trying to fight against that. And what you don't realize is that itty bitty you it is actually being protected, you know, and is serving a huge, mighty God who none of this means much to. But in the midst of your struggle, you don't realize that. Yeah. You know, you don't realize that. So that's what the Baphomet Killers logo.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees.
No doubt.
And yeah, I do believe, you know, sometimes you take solace in the fact that whatever you're going through has been seen before.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new, right? Yeah. So interesting artwork. I like y'all logos, and you said that was a CD cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where can we find Team Maranatha?
Yeah, I mean, Team Maranatha on every social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram got an underscore in it, Team_Maranatha.
Okay.
After February 8th, Catch us on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Tidal,
Okay.
everything.
What a blessing, man.
Give the release information again.
So next Saturday, February 8th, we'll be at Kingdom Elements at 5300 York Road from 5 to 7, celebrating our first album release party. Got a couple artists performing with us. Yosef the Sower from DC and Tornado 418 out of Baltimore.
Okay.
Music be by DJ Next to Ken from Fleet DJs.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Several speakers, raffles,
Tickets on sale or
free
It's a
event.
free event.
oh,
free event.
free
Free
99,
event.
free 99, y'all.
Free event.
Okay.
And yeah, you can bring your kids.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome.
We want to take the time out to thank you all for gracing us with your presence. We're looking forward to big things coming from Team
Really good
Maranatha.
music, y'all. Really good music, man.
definitely.
Thank you.
And these are like 3 random tracks. It ain't like we screened them or anything like that. So,
Right.
and if you guys got music after music after music in your catalog that y'all just that's falling out your pockets, man, I'm just imagine how much y'all catalog's gonna
That's
be.
all.
once
That's all
you
she
get-
sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
You
got
can send
tons
us
of music.
more so we
Yeah.
can play it on air.
Yeah,
It's
no
like
doubt.
that ain't even our best cuts, man.
Now we got a video out too for
Yes.
our like. I mean, we consider it our like #1 single. Like
Okay.
it's called Jesus
is the
Dancing.
Answer.
So if you get on YouTube, you'll see the music video for that. Like it's hot.
Okay.
And y'all have my email. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So you can send it to me.
Okay.
I want to take time out before we close out the show to send my condolences to the Bryant family, the Attabelli family, and it was another family, but I can't remember their name because that was so tragic. And it's just a reminder of how precious life is. And you spend time being mad at people for different things and not realizing that in the blink of an eye, your life can change. So I want to encourage us to love more instead of hating and being negative. We're all in this world together, so you never know what the next person is battling with. So take the time to be more loving towards one another.
Amen.
Amen.
I love you, Jackie.
Oh, I love you too, man.
And I love y'all, man.
We love you back.
And ain't nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
I say that at the end of our shows. I'm like, ain't nothing you can do about it, man. And that's
We'll
the truth.
see you next week, folks.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.